ChatGPT said, have you ever reached a goal you worked so hard for? The dream job, the luxury car, the recognition you thought would finally make you feel complete, only to wake up the next morning feeling exactly the same. It's a strange emptiness, one that creeps in when the applause fades and the moment of victory passes. You tell yourself you should feel happy, you should feel proud, but deep inside, something feels off. That feeling isn't failure, it's a signal, a whisper reminding you that success alone doesn't equal fulfillment. We live in a world obsessed with results. Everywhere you look, people are striving, chasing, and pushing harder. We celebrate those who achieve, who win, who conquer their goals. But few talk about what happens after, when the thrill of achievement wears off and you're left wondering why the joy doesn't last. The truth is there's a hidden gap between success and happiness, and most people fall right into it. We've mastered the science of achievement, setting goals, building systems, staying disciplined, but many have forgotten the art of fulfillment, the deeper satisfaction that gives life meaning. We know how to climb the ladder, but not always how to enjoy the view once we're at the top. We know how to make a living, but not necessarily how to make a life. What if true success isn't about reaching the next milestone, but about finding peace in the present moment? What if fulfillment isn't something to chase, but something to create? There's a delicate balance between striving for more and feeling grateful for what already is, and mastering that balance might just be the most important lesson of all. In a world that glorifies ambition and celebrates constant progress, it's easy to believe that the key to happiness lies in achievement. We're taught from an early age to set goals, chase dreams, and never settle for less. The formula seems simple: work hard, reach milestones, and happiness will follow. Yet countless people who appear successful on the outside still feel unfulfilled within. They've mastered the ability to achieve but haven't learned how to feel deeply satisfied once those achievements are realized. The pursuit of success is often structured, logical, and measurable. It's about learning strategies, following steps, and producing tangible results. There's a clear path to getting what you want, whether it's financial stability, physical health, or professional recognition. This is what could be called the science of achievement, understanding the patterns and methods that consistently lead to results. But life doesn't stop at results. Beyond the tangible victories lies an emotional landscape that can't be measured by numbers, titles, or trophies. That's where the art of fulfillment comes in, the side of life that gives meaning to our accomplishments. Fulfillment isn't as predictable or as easily defined as achievement. It's not about external rewards, but internal alignment. It's about how you feel when the noise fades, when you're alone with your thoughts, and when there's no one left to impress. Some of the most outwardly successful people in the world struggle in this area because while they've learned how to win, they haven't learned how to feel whole. True fulfillment comes from connection, purpose, and gratitude. It's born from doing what resonates with your values, contributing to something greater than yourself, and appreciating the journey rather than just the destination. While achievement feeds the mind and ego, fulfillment feeds the heart and soul. One is about mastering the external world, the other is about mastering the internal one. When we learn to integrate both, when we combine the clarity and discipline of achievement with the depth and gratitude of fulfillment, life takes on a richer meaning. It's no longer just about reaching goals, it's about living with purpose and joy, and in that balance lies the secret to a truly successful and deeply satisfying life. The greatest challenge many people face today isn't a lack of ambition, it's the emptiness that often follows accomplishment. We live in a culture that constantly pushes us to achieve more, earn more, and do more. Success is often defined by how much we accumulate, how fast we move, or how far we rise. Yet once the goal is reached, a quiet question often echoes inside: why doesn't this feel like enough? The problem isn't in the achievement itself, but in the meaning we attach to it. We are taught how to win, but rarely how to feel fulfilled once we do. This creates a subtle yet powerful conflict within. On the surface, everything looks right: the job, the house, the lifestyle. But beneath that surface, there's often a sense of disconnection, an invisible void that success alone cannot fill. Many people chase the next milestone, hoping the next one will finally bring peace, but it never does for long. This cycle of endless pursuit leaves them exhausted and confused, wondering why happiness seems to fade faster than the excitement of reaching their goals. The world has conditioned us to measure progress by external achievements. We celebrate productivity, but overlook presence. We reward performance, but ignore peace of mind. As a result, we end up mastering the outer game of life, setting goals, planning strategies, and chasing measurable results, but neglecting the inner game, which is about emotional balance, fulfillment, and connection.
The constant chase creates stress, anxiety, and burnout, even in the most successful individuals. The deeper problem lies in the misconception that success automatically leads to fulfillment. Achievement can bring comfort and recognition, but it cannot guarantee lasting joy or purpose. Fulfillment requires something different, a connection to meaning, contribution, and self-awareness. Without it, life becomes a checklist of goals, rather than a journey of growth. The challenge, then, is to bridge this gap. How can one maintain the drive to achieve, while also cultivating the inner peace that comes from fulfillment? How can we live in a world that praises results, without losing sight of what truly matters? Finding this balance is one of the greatest emotional and spiritual challenges of our time. ChatGPT said, to truly understand the difference between achievement and fulfillment, we have to look at how they operate within us. Achievement is built on structure and logic. It follows a pattern: set a goal, create a plan, take action, measure results, and adjust until success is reached. It's precise, teachable, and predictable. Anyone can learn the science of achievement because it depends on principles like discipline, focus, consistency, and strategy. It's about control, shaping the world around us to match our desires. Fulfillment, however, doesn't follow the same rules. It isn't logical or linear. It's emotional, spiritual, and deeply personal. What brings one person joy might mean nothing to another. It cannot be achieved through formulas or checklists because it depends on what makes us feel alive, connected, and purposeful. While achievement asks, what do I want to get? Fulfillment asks, who do I want to become? This subtle shift in focus changes everything. The more we chase achievements without aligning them with our inner values, the more we feel disconnected. The problem is that external success often outpaces internal growth. We reach the destination before our hearts are ready to receive it. That's why fulfillment requires reflection, a conscious effort to pause, to appreciate, and to reconnect with the deeper reasons behind our actions. Gratitude, love, and contribution become central to this process. Exploring fulfillment means moving beyond control and embracing uncertainty. It means understanding that life's richest moments often come from experiences we can't plan. Moments of connection, acts of kindness, or quiet realizations of gratitude. It's about feeling rather than calculating, giving rather than taking, and being rather than proving. When achievement and fulfillment work together, life becomes balanced. Achievement gives direction and progress, while fulfillment gives depth and meaning. One fuels the other. Success feels richer when it's connected to purpose, and purpose feels more alive when it's supported by action. Mastering both allows us to live not just effectively, but joyfully. It transforms success from something we chase into something we experience, where every goal reached is not just a win for the mind, but nourishment for the soul. ChatGPT said, there comes a defining moment in every person's journey when the pursuit of more no longer satisfies. It often arrives quietly, without warning, after a victory, a promotion, or a long-awaited success. The excitement fades, the noise dies down, and suddenly, you're left with a haunting stillness. The things that once brought pride and validation no longer feel the same. It's in this silence that the truth begins to surface. Achievement alone is not enough. This realization can feel uncomfortable, even disorienting, but it's also the beginning of transformation. At that moment, a deeper awareness awakens, the understanding that life's richest rewards don't come from accumulation, but from alignment. You begin to see that the milestones you've reached were never the destination, they were only markers along the path to something greater. The heart starts to crave meaning over metrics, connection over competition, and peace over perfection. This shift doesn't mean abandoning ambition, it means expanding it. Success is no longer defined solely by what you accomplish, but by how you feel, how you grow, and how you impact others. This key turning point redefines your relationship with achievement. It changes your focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. You start asking different questions, not what can I win, but what can I give, not how can I impress, but how can I connect. And in that simple shift of intent, life begins to feel lighter, more authentic, and more deeply rewarding. The breakthrough happens when you realize that fulfillment isn't a reward waiting at the end of success. It's a state of being that can exist in every step of the journey. You find that the joy you've been searching for was never hidden in the next accomplishment. It was always within you, waiting to be felt. The true victory is not reaching the top of the mountain, but learning to appreciate the climb. In that awareness, everything changes, success becomes more meaningful, gratitude flows naturally, and life regains regains its color. The heart, once driven by the need to achieve, finally finds peace in simply being. ChatGPT said, "Now is the time to pause and look at your life with honesty and clarity. Ask yourself, are you living only to achieve, or are you also allowing yourself to feel fulfilled?" Achievements are powerful. They give direction, focus, and growth. But without fulfillment, they lose their meaning. The goal isn't to stop striving, but to shift the purpose behind your striving. Every goal you set, every challenge you take on, should not only move you forward, but also bring you closer to who you truly are. Start by redefining what success means to you. Instead of measuring it by the size of your accomplishments, measure it by the depth of your joy and the strength of your peace. Write down what truly matters, not what looks impressive to others, but what resonates with your heart. Make time for gratitude every day. It's impossible to feel empty while you're appreciating the abundance you already have. Take small intentional steps toward fulfillment. Do something kind for someone without expecting anything in return. Reconnect with people who lift your spirit. Spend time in silence, away from the constant noise of productivity. Reflect on what brings you genuine happiness, not excitement that fades, but peace that lasts. Remember that fulfillment doesn't come from having everything. It comes from noticing everything you already have and using it to create meaning. Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin this shift. It starts now, in the way you approach your next goal, in how you treat others, and in how you treat yourself. Live with purpose, not pressure. Achieve with intention, not obsession. The balance between success and fulfillment is not found overnight. It's cultivated through awareness, gratitude, and growth. Choose to create a life that's not only successful but deeply alive. Let your achievements be fueled by passion and guided by purpose. Let your fulfillment be the quiet strength behind everything you do. Because in the end, true success isn't about how much you've achieved. It's about how much meaning and joy you've experienced along the way. The power to live fully is already within you. Start embracing it today.